Here's a little tutorial that might help you understand a little bit about how to improve your position on the internet. Okay, this is how to do some SEO work, or search engine optimization. There is a rumor that Google and other search engines use the H1 tag as a possible method of storing information for your ranking on the searches that they do in their search queries. Now, if this is the case, you want to utilize the H1 command, or the title header command, which is what this is, where it says title of selection. And I'm going to show you how you can do this in a kind of a clever way. Whether it will work or not, I don't know. I can't guarantee that it's going to make your Google position rise any further, but this is the method. Okay, I've basically made a HTML, which is what you can see there. Okay, and I've made a container like I always do, and put in a H1 command. Okay, at the moment it says title of selection. We'll keep it at that for the time being. Section, sorry, and I've just put some Laura Ipsum in paragraphs to give it the appropriate information there. This is 300 pixels wide. Okay, now what I want to do, most people don't want to have text as a title. Okay, but the thing is, as I said, search engines look through the H1 selections and use it as a possible method of gaining information about the website. So how can we do this if you want to put an image there? And I'm going to put an image there. Okay, well, I'll show you how it does it. Okay, this is my HTML, and you'll notice what I've done actually is I've got all the meta tags that I usually have in my HTML documents. I've left out the keywords one, but normally you would add keywords like Rob Snow, graphic designer, etc. You know, just, I don't have to fill it all in, but you just basically, you just have to fill in the necessary keywords that you may want, and that helps somewhat, but it's basically told that Google doesn't tend to read a lot of the keywords in an effective way like other ones would, like Yahoo, etc. So what you need to do is utilize things within inside the actual HTML, and also other SEO things that I can show in another video. But let's say, for instance, this is our starting point. We have our HTML with a container, the H1 tag, and the paragraphs. Okay, I'm going to jump to my usual CSS editor. Okay, this is how it's looking as I showed you on the website. Now what we want to do is to take this and put a image in there. Now there's two ways you can do it. The one which isn't going to be very good for the SEO is literally just change the H1 command here, make it into a paragraph, and stick a picture. Now, but we want to have the H1 part of the HTML, because that is what Google reads. It reads the H1 and then the information within the H1. Okay, so what we need to do now is to think of a way to put our image in there and utilize the H1 command. So I'm going to go back to my CSS tag. You'll notice if I start building up the necessary coding for H1, which is just literally H1, like so. Okay, it's already put that in. Let's say, for instance, I'm going to put in my image. Okay. Oops, that's the background. And choose image. I've made an image already. It's not particularly brilliant, but it's just there for the test. Okay. What you'll notice, let's just deselect the text. I can put the image in the background of the H1, but what you'll notice is obviously the text appears over the top. Now we don't want that, because obviously we don't want the text over the top of the command, and we want to utilize it a little bit better than it is at the moment. So I'm just going to add the width of the actual image, pixels, and height just to confirm its dimensions. Oops, it's 44 pixels high. Okay, you'll notice that the actual image is the right size now, not fitting into the size of the actual font or text. The reason it's going all the way across is because it's sitting inside the container and it's going 100% of the container. But you did notice that if I take away the height element, it disappears up to the height of the actual baseline of the font, with a little bit for the descenders. Okay, so now what we want to do is to make it so we can see the I'll just show you that in the browser. Yeah, it looks terrible. You can't see the actual text. You can't put the text behind the image because the image is a background image. But what you want to do is to put some text in the actual H1 command that we can utilize for the search engine optimization. So how can we use this but still see all of the image? Well, the neat trick is if we just literally go to the top, put in text indent. Okay, like so. Normally if I put, say, 20 pixels, you'll notice it moves it in. So assuming that, what we could do is put a ludicrously high minus figure, like so, and you'll notice the actual text then disappears off the screen. Basically it's gone this way, okay, but it's out of screen, and you're never going to get a screen that's 9,999 pixels wide to one side, which is, if you double that, it's like nearly 20,000 pixels. You're never going to get a monitor that's 20,000 pixels wide, so you can see even part of the text. Okay, so it's off there somewhere, but it's still in the HTML. Okay, so if I look at my HTML, it still says title of section, okay, but it's not visible, and I'll just show you that in Safari. It's gone. So we can have nice graphics for the header, still have a header command, and now what we can do, which is the important part of it, is put some useful information in the header section, like this is not what you're supposed to put, but I'm just doing it as an example. This is a cool website for the best graphic design on the web. Do that, full stop. Now that's too big for the header section anyway, so if I even had that as text over that background, it would be too big for the box, and we want the box to be that big. Okay, even though now it's off screen, any search engine that recognizes the H1 command as part of the search engine optimization will read this, even though it's off screen, and put it into the database, and it can help you utilize their search function a little bit better. Okay, that's just a little neat trick that I discovered earlier. Okay, just wanted to share it. You can also look at some of my other tutorials on YouTube or on my blog. Okay.